What's up guys, James here from SeekerHost, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to start a passive income blog. In today's guide is going to be a step-by-step walkthrough of, first of all, choosing your niche, editing your blog, and then finally earning passive income from it. The aim of this video is by the end of the video you should feel confident creating your blog, adding content to your blog for your niche, and then finally monetizing it so you can passively earn money. For this, you're not going to need any coding experience, and you can get started with literally no previous experience at all. For this to work correctly, you will need to follow our step-by-step process to ensure that your blog has the best chances of earning the most passive income for you. So let's get started with this tried and tested method. Let's find out how you can earn passive income from a blog. You can earn through many different ways using a blog. These include, and aren't limited to, affiliate links, advertising sections, Google Ads, paid subscriptions, services or products, sponsorships, and guest posting. And of course many other ways. We will be going through the best ways to do this a bit later on in the video. Firstly, let's get started with finding a niche for you to go into. There are many niches to go into, however some might prove a bit more profitable than others depending on what they are. For example, you can go into reviewing products, which will then help with affiliate advertising. Tech or the gaming industry, because again they like to promote online. So by having a blog that talks about these interests, it's quite likely that you're going to be able to monetize it that way. Another example would be health and beauty or products in health and beauty, because people like to promote using influencers, bloggers, and anybody that can get the message out for them. And of course it's much better to identify the purpose to then help you build a money-making strategy from that works best for you and your niche. It's always advised to do your research and find out about your competition. That's how you can best monetize your niche, so you can use this to your advantage. So for the hosting and domain section, we're going to be showing you using SeekerHost. This is because the packages are of course not only affordable, but they give you free features such as the SSL and email, which are always needed when you start your blog. And we're going to be running through exactly how to get started. And if you want to get started yourself, use the link below. You get a 7-day free trial, and it's super easy to get started as well. So guys, we're now going to be looking at what domain to get, and then we're going to look at how to connect it with our hosting so you know how to make that initial connection, and then we can start editing on the blog. The first thing of course is actually going to be getting a domain. You first need to have a domain to then link to your hosting, of which you're going to build your site on. Now I always recommend researching the domain first by actually making sure that it's niche specific. If people are going to be finding posts or pages on your site, is the domain going to be matching what they're searching for? Making sure that it's short, doesn't have symbols, not too many numerics, and generally easy for somebody to be able to remember and then recommend to somebody else. This could for instance be something like your name if you're known for your actual name itself, your brand, or something about your niche. Go ahead and hit search, and then we can see if it's actually available, how much it's going to be, and also if there are any other variations that we might prefer. As we can see here, that is actually available. You can see that we've got a nice 50% discount, or just under 50% discount there. And they're going to give us lots of variations. So obviously take your time, make sure you choose a domain that's going to suit you, it's going to suit your niche, and it's going to work most effectively for your blog. Registering easy. If we just go to add to cart over here, go and check out your cart by clicking the item or the little bar up there, and then you can go ahead and check it out. At this point, if you don't have an account with SeekerHost, it's free and easy to create an account. It simply needs your details, and then we can go ahead to check it out. Here you can choose how long you're going to register it for. You can register it for 1 up to 4 years at a time, or you can simply check the auto renew button. Once you check that, that would just take the payment once every year. You can also choose to contact privacy if you want to hide the identity of your whois information, and then once you're happy, go to next. Just before the payment section, just make sure to add in your details, or you can click same as user account just to make sure that they match, because they do need to match the details for when you do register a domain. Then go ahead and click next to go to the payment details. Once you've registered it, and you will get an email once the payment's been successful, it will then show up in your dashboard on the SeekerHost portal, which is just under the domains there. It will appear in the list if you have many domains, or just one if you have one domain there. Now next up, to actually get our hosting and then finally connect the hosting to the domain, meaning that we can go ahead and start editing our blog. Once you've got your domain and you're inside the portal, it's much easier to just go and grab a hosting package from here. However, you can do this from the front end as well of the website and then sign back in. So I'm just going to go to hosting plans, and I'm going to go to WordPress hosting. Here you can choose a hosting package that suits you, whether you have 1 blog, 3 blogs, 5 blogs, or 10 blogs, or alternatively, if you are running a PBN and you have many small blogs that you want to add, you can also go to our PBN hosting, which will offer you anywhere from 1 blog to 150 blogs at one time. We're going to be using the normal WordPress hosting for this if you're just getting one site up. Go ahead, choose your plan, follow the same steps, use the same account registration details, and then register your hosting. Once you've registered a hosting package, you can then go to your WordPress sites. From here, what you're going to see, and it's going to look a little bit different, I've got 13 out of 15 sites because that's my package. However, if you've just bought a single site package, yours will be showing as 0 of 1, meaning that you can now create a site. Now to do this, make sure that you have your domain handy, and we're going to go up to the top right to create WordPress site, and here's going to be where you add your domain. So whatever domain that you've just registered, and you don't need to add the www dot here, you just simply put the domain. You can add a blog title, which you can change at any point afterwards. You're going to choose the visibility of the blog, so whether you want it to remain invisible for the moment potentially if it's under construction, or have it visible to the for anybody to search. And then underneath is going to be where you search or choose your package. So this is going to be the hosting package that you've just bought. It's going to show 0 of 1 or however many packages you bought, and you can check that. Once you have checked it, go down and add WordPress site. Once added, it will then be added to the WordPress list that you can access from the WordPress sites over here, or from your dashboard and go into WordPress sites. At first it won't show as online. It may take anywhere from 10 seconds to a few minutes, and then it will then show online, which will mean we can now do the final connection, which is adding our name servers, which are given to us from the WordPress hosting, into our domain. We can then save the changes and then start editing our site. So once your blog is showing as online, you've got the little online tick over there, we're going to go to the action button on the right. I'm going to be looking for these two things here, which is ns5.com or ns6, whatever it is currently, whatever it shows you your name server 1 and name server 2 is, because we're going to need this for our domain. First things first is we're just going to copy the name server 1, so I'm just going to click that to copy to the clipboard. Then we're going to come back to our dashboard and we're going to go over to our domain. Now in case you are wondering, I'm using random domains here just to show you we're not following with one. In case you have wondered why the domain keeps changing, this is simply the process that we follow. We're going to go to the action button on the right hand side of that particular domain, and this is where you can manage anything about your domain, from the name servers to the DNS. First things first, we want to unlock it before we make any changes. This will make it so we can actually make changes ourselves. So click the unlock button, that will then unlock your domain and you can now make changes. Head up to your name servers option, and this is going to be the final thing that we realistically have to do to get it online. So you can leave it checked as use default name servers. If you've got your domain and you're hosting with SeekerHost, that will simply do it all itself. Make sure to lock your domain and you're all good to go. Alternatively, you can use custom or private name servers. This could be if you've got your domain elsewhere and you're hosting it with SeekerHost, or I like to do it anyway because if you've got your name servers, it's going to be quick and easy just to change them straight away. To make any changes, you click on use custom name servers. In the first panel, I'm going to go paste, and I'm going to put in the name server 1 that it provided me, and I'm going to do the same thing in the second option, which is the name server 2. So now we've got the name server 1 and 2 from our hosting on our domain. We can now go ahead, click change name servers, and then once you're done, return back to the overview of the domain and then lock the domain back up again. Obviously mine don't show as changed because I'm not changing these, but that is the steps that you would take to do that. Awesome, you've made the connection. Now to add our free SSL certificate to make sure that the connection is always secure, and then to start editing. To do that, again from the dashboard, we're going to go to WordPress, choose the website or the blog that you're starting, and then go to the action button on the right. Currently this little preview window won't be showing your website because that will only show once your SSL certificate is activated. Now to do that, we're going to go to the top right where it says SSL right there, click on that. Yours will be showing as non-active at the moment. All we need to do now is click that, it will show as active like mine does now, and it will tell you that it will take around 30 minutes for the SSL certificate to come into place. Once you're ready, your SSL certificates come into place, you've got your little preview up, you can then go click on login site, get your information from accounts manage, and it will take you to the back end login of your website where you can then log in and start editing. And now we've made it to editing your site, so we can actually get started, and I can give you some tips and tricks on how to actually create the blog itself, plugins that you might need, settings, and how to create pages and blog pages. First of all, to actually log in, what you're going to want to do is do a / and then WP admin, press enter, and then it's going to take you to the back end where we can then sign in and then start editing on the back end. And now we're into the back end of our website. Now for a much more detailed explanation, I'll leave a link for a video and a post which goes through absolutely every option on your WordPress if you want to look a bit further into it. We're going to be covering the more major options here so you can know how to get started straight away, and then you can learn along the way too. First things first, what we're going to go through is plugins that are going to be needed. Some plugins are obviously not essential, they'll give you features that you might need or might not need, but then some features are really essential. So let's go to our plugin options over here and let's add the ones that we're going to need. Usually, and especially with SeekerHost, you get a lot of the ones that you do need straight away, such as Ask-A-Met. I won't go through the procedure of starting your account, however this is an anti-spam that works really well so you don't get hundreds and hundreds of comments that are just spam comments with other links. To actually get started, we're going to click activate over here, and then you're going to go and set up your account with Ask-A-Met. You're allowed one free account, so create it for free and then make sure that you're not getting spammed. There's also a few other ones such as WP Mail SMTP, so you can set up your mailing system, HT Access Editor, so you can change certain things about your WordPress site, WP File Manager, very important. You can also add any of these plugins by going to Plugins on the top left, clicking Add New and then searching for them, so WP File Manager to manage the files on your WordPress site, Updraft Plus because it's going to create free backups of your site that you can then download for safety. Then we get to other ones as well, such as Page Builders. So if we go to Add New just to see how that process is as well, this is going to be Page Builders, so you can build a more effective website that gives you more features on editing the page. You can use the top right search bar to actually search for the name. You're going to search for Elementor, and this is just one of many website builders. However, this is one that I'm going to personally recommend because I use it myself. To install it, it's easy. You click Install Now and then you click Activate afterwards. And then once you click Activate, you can then use this page builder on your website to create different style pages with many more options on configurations, settings, and just changing stuff around. You can create your account here, go ahead and connect it. It's much better if you do connect it, because then you can use stuff like the templates as well. This is how it appears when you do create a page or post with Elementor, and one of the reasons I like it is because it's a drag and drop page builder. So let's say, for instance, just to very quickly get started, we can drag a heading there, you know, chuck an image under it, and you can basically start planning your page downwards like that. If you want to create columns, it's quite easy. You can choose the little plus button over here, choose how you want the next column to be. So let's say you want 3 slots, and again, you just primarily just drag and drop bits into it. So we can chuck a couple of buttons there. All the buttons and every element, this is why I like Elementor, has all the settings that you need, the alignments, icon spacing, the style of everything, so you can change almost every color on every bit. And I'm not going to go through a whole process of showing you Elementor here because it's very long-winded. There's lots of tutorials, including some that we've done as well, that will show you exactly how to edit with it. However, it's a great way to get started, to have a better editor than just your normal standard one. Next up, another recommended plugin. Now, there are 2 plugins that do pretty much the same job. I'm going to recommend All-in-One SEO, but you can also go with Yoast SEO, which is just going to help you generally boost the SEO of every page and post that you do, with natural tips telling you exactly where you can help and improve SEO before you go ahead and post. So for this, I'm just going to go for All-in-One SEO. Again, install now. Once it's installed, we're going to click Activate. Now, just to quickly show you the difference now that we've installed this, how it's going to help, let's go back to one of the pages that we were doing. In fact, let's just do this on a normal edit so you can see along the bottom, and it's given us a load more choices, and it's also marking us on our SEO and how we're doing along the top right over here. Now, if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we now have different options of how the page is going to display when it's shown in search results, which we can then edit completely ourselves. So we can show what the title is going to be, whether I just want it to be privacy policy. You can change again what is showing underneath that, so we can paste that if we want it to show that. And you can also change how it looks like on your socials when you share it. Currently it looks like this. You can change the title, description, the featured image that shows when people share it on socials, and much more. Another good one to go for is Templately. This is going to give you loads of free built-in templates that you can also use for Elementor as well, so you can actually design your page much faster. So let's go install that now and activate. Again, you don't have to do these. This is just going to be recommended if you want to be able to build your blog fast and effectively as well. See, now when we go to edit with Elementor on Templately, we can actually import entire templates or template sections, because it gives us this little third option here as well, which is going to be the Templately themes. If we click on that, you can check different whole pages, so you can just look through, see which ones aren't pro. Of course, we can go to the starter, so the starter ones are all free, and then you can literally insert whole sections, whole pages, landing pages, and there's loads of ones that look great. Next up, let's take a look at actually installing themes and templates onto pages. First of all, to create a theme for your blog, let's just go over to Appearance, then we're going to go over to Themes. The themes will just it will change the whole theme of your blog basically. Currently we're usually set on 2029 or one of them version themes. However, you can go along the top, press Add New, and we can search for a brand new theme that will suit you. So for instance, I'm just going to search blog and I'm going to find one that really suits me. Let's say I like this one right here. You can check it out, see if it's going to suit your blog version, and then if you are happy, go ahead and install. I'm just going to install this just for an example here, because you can see that I'm looking for a blog. This has all my categories and it's showing categories of blogs and tags. Now if I go back to my homepage, you're going to see that everything looks a little bit different because it's now to do with the theme. Templates are a little bit different. Templates are going to be actual whole page templates or blocks or sections that you want to import into your page. If I go and click Starter on the top right, it's going to show me all of the free ones, and you can actually start to build up your page using these particular sections here. Alternatively, you can go to Pages. On Pages, like I first said, you can create whole pages, and there's just a ton of options that you can use to create with. To import them, just make sure to sign in with Elementor, and then download Templately. Choose the sort of pages, blogs, whatever you think looks good and you want to pick, and then click Insert on the top. It will take a minute to import. You can also create a page from this point. and that's how you can import templates. So I've clicked on view template, and as you can see, it's actually brought everything in for me, and it's just going to be a case of just changing everything around to make sure it suits and it works for my blog. Now with the look of the site looking great, we've got the right plugins that we're going to need. Let's also change some of the settings to make sure that our domain's showing correctly and securely. To do this, we're going to go to the left hand side where it says settings. Let's just click on settings. The first thing that we're going to want to do, and this is also on a side note where you can change your site title at any point and the tagline, which is going to be like a subtitle to your title, but we go down to where it says WordPress address, and we're going to add a S to the end of the HTTP. And we're also going to, and this is optional, we're going to add the www. To make this a complete domain, which we want people to search with a www. You can also do this in the line underneath, so I'm just going to go ahead, copy this, and paste that in there. Next up on your settings, we're going to go to the reading option. This is also very important, and this is going to be where we choose what our homepage or our blog page is. So currently we've got it set to our latest post. What this means is that any post that will come up, that will all get automatically put onto our homepage, and it's not so much a static page, but more of a latest post page, like a Facebook feed or a Twitter feed or something like that. Alternatively, what you can do is you can have two, so you can have a home page that people land on and then a blog page that people can go and check out your latest posts. If you want to do that, you're going to click a static page, and from this section here, choose a page that you've created. I've just created one called home, and then create another page, just an empty page, and then select it for your blog, and that's exactly where the latest post will go. However, just to create a quick easy blog, I'm going to leave this as your latest post because I just simply want people to come on and read my post first of all to start my traffic going. Last but not least is going to be the permalinks section, so we're going to come down to permalinks and we're going to change this to post name. This is so automatically when we create something or a page or a post, it will appear as the name of the post after the last / of your domain, rather than looking like something like this, which is going to be page and the page ID. In terms of settings, you're pretty much done. You can also go down to your privacy option, and it can just create your privacy post page. So you can create it right there, select the page, and then use that for your privacy policy. Now with the main appearance, the settings and all that done, it's actually time to start creating some posts on here to start making this website quite valuable. Now, at first, a few things just to make sure that we're looking good and that people can navigate. Navigation is key on websites, is sorting out the menu that appears here. We can do this by going to customize along the top, and then we're going to go to create our first menu. Now this will obviously, I've not created very many pages on here, this depends on what pages you've got and how you want the menu to appear. We're going to go down to menu down here, and then we're going to create our first menu because we don't have one already. I'm just going to call this first, but it's your main menu. Call it whatever you want, main menu, header menu, whatever you want to call it, and then click main menu if you want this to be your main one. Then go ahead and click next to create it. Now we can add items here. Items are going to be pages, posts, categories, or anything else that we want to show. So I'm going to add items over here. I'm going to add the home page. I'm going to add a sample page as well, so I really don't have many pages on here. And I can do stuff like add categories. So I'm going to do a custom link. In the URL, I'm just going to put a hashtag to mean it's not going anywhere, and then I'm going to put categories and add to menu. This is going to be a way for people to search through my different blog categories. Now what I need to do is go down to categories. I don't actually have any, so I'm just going to add the uncategorized, and I'm going to drag it just to the right of the categories to make it so when people go over categories, anything I've added in the menu will then show up. Now as you can see, we have our home page right here, we have our sample page, and if I go over directories, it will show as a subcategory of uncategorized. Obviously the more categories you have, the more we can add on there. So let's get down to creating the categories now to then start making posts and start growing our audience. If you go over the post section over here, we can go to categories, and we're going to first just create a couple of categories that we can use to put our post sections in. I'm going to create category 1, the slug will just change the same. If you don't type anything there, you can add a description and then go add to category. This will then add category 1. I'm going to do the same, just add category 2. Of course, yours will be more specific to your niche and what you're blogging about. With your categories created, let's just go and add a new post now. Now without going too much into this, because we don't have time to sit and write an entire blog post, we do have many videos and guides on showing you how to create an engaging post. What I'll do is I'll leave the link in the description and we'll quickly go over how to actually create the post itself. So first of all, we're going to create the post title, make sure it's engaging, make sure it's got the keywords in for what people are searching in your niche, and then we're going to start creating the blog by doing little pluses here. We're going to add a paragraph, and by writing down your blog, making sure that it has headings, numbers, lists, and some great content on there, you can start to build up your blog. Also not forgetting the fact that you will need images to make it look visually better. This also includes videos. If you have videos, it's so easy with WordPress. You can simply click the little plus button, search on YouTube, add in the URL of your YouTube video, and it can be added in like that. Either way, as you create your great blog and make sure that you are blogging regularly for good relevant stuff in your niche, you can then, using all-in-one SEO or Yoast SEO, make sure the title is displaying correctly, make sure the underneath bit is displaying correctly, make sure that it's looking great for socials when people share it by adding pictures. Add in featured images to your post, so click on here, featured image. Let's select the image that we just uploaded, set that as a featured image because we want it displaying nicely when people share it as well. well. Once you're done, you're happy you've made all the changes for your post, go ahead and click Publish Post. Again, if you have All-in-One SEO or Yoast SEO, it will tell you what you need to do to now make it even better for SEO. So make sure that you do follow the advice before you do hit Publish. Another thing not to forget with posts as well is filling in the categories and the tags. So let's go put this in category 1 and let's put a little tag as well. So trees, that's going to be if anybody's using your search bar on WordPress and they actually want to check it out, they want to search for your post using the search bar, that will then allow them to find you by using the tag. So before we actually go forward and monetize the blog, let's talk about something very important that not a lot of other people talk about in these monetizing videos, which is actually creating the valuable content which makes the visitors come to your site. The more visitors come to your site, the more valuable it looks in terms for advertisers or other monetary ways to monetize your site. You've got to be creating great value content which suits the niche, suits the reader, makes people come and visit your site. The more people you get, as with any other business, it looks more lucrative for anybody wanting to advertise. So just make sure that you are putting out content. Your site might look great, you might have great navigation, your niche is well researched, but if it's got no content, it's likely that there's not going to be many visitors. So just make sure you keep up with your blogs. Once you do that, your site's authority will start to rise within the web space, and you get many more offers or much higher offers than you would have to begin with. Now let's take a look at ways of monetizing your site. First of all, let's get started with affiliate advertising. This is places or blogs that are going to suggest things that are great for users, which will then lead for the user to click onto it and then purchase such an item or make a sale from it. A great example is Amazon, like the one here. Amazon offers a free affiliate program to anybody wanting to start. It will give you the code which you can then input to your WordPress site and show the particular affiliate links. So by making sure that you put the right affiliate links in the right places that are really going to help and really benefit the visitors in that particular niche, you might be able to make some good earnings from that, especially if you've got really high traffic. And this works great for stuff like beauty products because you can also promote the beauty product, which you can also earn a commission from. Along with that, we also have advertising sections, which means different sections on your blog which people can pay to advertise. Let's say again you get quite high traffic and a lot of people view certain sections of your blog. It means that that's going to be worth a bit of money for somebody in that niche to want to advertise on. So just make sure that it's obvious, people can contact you, there's a contact form in case they want to advertise here, there's actually a banner saying that you can advertise there, and make it easy for people to know that they can. Along with that, you can also email potential customers, potential people within that niche that might want to advertise, just letting them know that you have this space available. You have paid subscriptions, so people can subscribe to your blog, but they will only see certain material if they've actually paid for the subscription. This can work really well for early release videos, blog posts with guides that other people won't get first or might not get at all, and it's a way of promoting your better content if people actually pay for it, such like Patreon and other stuff like that, but you can create this on your own blog. Google AdSense is another great way to monetize your website. We have a great course on this. I'll leave it down in the description and you can follow along to fully monetize your website with AdSense. This will then put relevant ads depending on the cookies and depending on who's viewing on your site. So really well known and really great way to invest in your website, because using Google they can track people and they really do show them exactly what they should be looking for as well in that particular relevance. Advertisements can be added anywhere, so you can auto add ads, so they simply come over all of your site, or you can add them manually, stuff like in the widget sections on posts themselves, and it's a great way to start earning. You can start providing services like online services, SEO, web design, hosting, even online courses that you can guide people to. So once you made the course, that will passively make you money, so if you're promoting it on your blog, that will then make more money. And finally, guest posting. This is going to be a way that you can let others post onto your website but charge a fee, like an administration fee, for putting up the post for them. The reason for this is if you have a high traffic site, a high domain authority site, people are going to want to advertise on there. Now the best way for them to advertise is by getting a backlink back to their website with a recommendation from your website. So people will often charge for guest posting, sponsored posts and stuff like that, so then they can promote their website through you and all the traffic that you get. This is a really great strategy if you've got blogs or a number of blogs which you can grow to an authority and making sure they have high traffic. This will ensure lots of people will then want to guest post on there because they want other people to see their brands, their company, their services. And you can just simply create a simple contact form letting them know to get in contact with you. You can tell them what the charges are and you can go accordingly. So guys, thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and I really hope it's going to help you out in creating your blog and monetizing your website. Now here at Seacoast, we are always happy to support you, so if you've got any questions, make sure to leave it down in the comments. You can also come on to seekerhost.app, use the live chat and actually chat to us live. We can walk you through it, or of course use support tickets once you create your account. Some tips and tricks that we're going to go through is just how to also boost money for monetizing your site, and primarily we're going to go back to the fact that you need to have great value content on there. The better value content, the higher up in the search engine you're going to come. And also well researched content that you're writing about. For instance, if you are monetizing using guest posting on your site, you're going to want to start ranking for the keyword of guest posting. That's because when people search for guest posting, you're going to want to come up first, and if you've got great value content, you're coming up on the first page of Google, it's much more likely that they're going to want to spend money with you than with somebody that's appearing on the 5th page. When affiliate advertising, make sure that it doesn't look too ungenuine. Make sure that it actually does look like you're really recommending a product and you haven't just simply written this very quickly just to try and sell a product to make money. Natural type of style that simply just puts forward that you do recommend this product or what the good points are of this product. For Google AdSense, really do make sure that you hit the requirements before you do apply. If you don't hit the requirements, you're just simply going to be waiting for weeks to get denied and you will simply just have to go back and do it all again. So I really do suggest checking out one of our free courses. Following the free course, make sure that you hit the requirements first and then applying for AdSense. Once you do apply, my second tip is to actually add your ads manually. When you add automatically, it's going to put it everywhere, every little block of space that you have. It might be appearing between the menu, underneath of images, and between stuff it's not supposed to. We've also got a tutorial for that, and I'll have the link in the description where you can simply manually put them so the ads look great on your site, they look natural, and they're in the places that you want them to be. Paid subscribers are hard to get to, but what you got to really make sure you're doing here is have extra great value content or something that they're going to get for the subscription that other people don't get first, such as early release videos, certain guides or tips that they might not get from your normal channels or blogs. And this also works for if you're having any online products or anything like that. Make sure it's with your niche, make sure it suits the target audience, and make sure that it's going to be something that they want to buy if they're searching for your niche type of blog. So again, thanks for taking the time to watch this video, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching, bye bye.